what your excuse is? Why won't you do whatever it would take? Now there's a word, and it's called purpose. And what a person's purpose does is it moves them to do what it takes. It alters and changes their attitude. Purpose is defined as your primary aim. It's the thing that moves you and aims you and gives you a reason to live on this planet. My purpose, which I hope will become yours, is to help as many human beings as possible and educate them on what chiropractic is so that they can in turn educate the world and we can get more people under chiropractic care. Now there's two ways to imbue yourself with a purpose. One is from an act of God. I've seen it happen. I had this woman come to my seminars, and I'd see her and I'd say, "How's it going?" And she said, "I'm seeing 30 a week." I said, "Well, you're going to have to do something." She said, "Oh, but I don't want to do lectures. I'm too afraid. And I'm only a little woman, and if I'm out at a screening, I'd feel nervous." I said, "Well, how's your practice going to go up if you don't do something?" She said, "Well, I can't do nothing. I'm too afraid." All right, I see her a couple months later at a seminar. "How's it going?" "I'm still seeing 30 a week." I said, "Well, of course you're still seeing 30 a week. You don't do nothing." I said, "Why don't you at least try to get the people who come to you to stay longer? Maybe you should just suggest they come for several months rather than several weeks." She said, "Oh, Dr. Singer, I can't ask a person to come for a long period of time because then they'll think I'm after their money or something." I go, "Lady, you are off purpose. You got to get out there and communicate." So a couple months later, Dennis, I see her at a seminar. She might actually be here today. Tiny little woman. In fact, I brought her here today. Here she is. No, okay, anyway, a real little lady. And you need to know, for me to call someone little, they got to be real little because I'm little. So I see her at a seminar, and I said, "How's it going?" She said, "I'm up to 150 people a week." I said, "What?" She said, "Something happened and changed my life." I said, "Well, tell me what happened." She goes, "You won't believe what happened. It was a really negative experience." And I said, "Well, if you had a negative experience that led you to change in a positive way, I want to know what happened." She said, "Here's what happened, Dr. Singer. I was in a room adjusting this man. He was about 5'10", but for me he was rather large. And I got down and I was adjusting his cervical spine. And inadvertently, I don't know how it happened, my foot hit the zenith high-low table button. And before I could hit it again, because I was up by his neck, the table started to rise. And I couldn't hit the pedal. I go, "What are you saying?" She said, "The table started to rise and lift me up." I go, "You are making the story up." She goes, "Dr. Singer, I couldn't make up a story like this." And I thought for a minute, and I said, "Yeah, you couldn't make up a story like that." She said, "So the table rose all the way up in the air, and I was holding on top of it." Man was right down there. And I'm holding on with my legs and my arms, and I'm shaking on top of the table. She said, "I now know what it feels like to be a Scud missile." She says, "I'm holding on for dear life, and my arms are shaking, and I knew I could not sustain it for long. I knew I was going to fall down, so to protect myself, I arched forward and slid straight down that man." She said to me, "Dr. Singer, I had to then stand up and talk to him." She says, "Dr. Singer, if you can talk to someone after that experience, you can do lectures, you can do screenings, you could do prepaid care, you could do anything." So I said to her, "So what happened?" She said, "Well, I stood up and he looked me in the eye and he said, are you going to do that every time I come in?" And I said to her, "You should have said only if you prepay."